competitive.
Hello, 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 and welcome back as Team 1 attempt to topple the Lyngby Vikings. It's going to be a very, very close game, and having seen that overtime on Nuke, this could go either way. We get things underway with Lyngby Vikings going aggressive up from long, trying to catch out Team 1 wherever possible, but Team 1, they're currently set out towards B. Do Lyngby Vikings react quick enough? Do they rotate quick enough? And can Team 1 get onto this site in time before this killer flank pierces their behind?
Well, how well can the Lyngby Vikings mentally reset after such a crushing loss in map 1? Team 1, they burst right onto the B site. They get this C4 planted, and a 1-for-1 engagement puts it into a 4-on-4. Relax has taken so much damage that his presence on short applies a load of pressure, allows his teammates to funnel through Monster. And as they find all the headshots, this defense is crumbling. Pasadello, the only man standing, looking to try and deny this defuse. As he pokes up, finds the first, spams away onto Bird from Sky. Does a hell of a lot of damage there, but there will still be time for this defuse. And Lyngby Vikings, whilst it comes a little bit close for comfort, they do recover it nicely. And that retake was really fantastic indeed.
That it was. It was a great recovery. And I tell you what, I don't know how I feel about Lyngby Vikings. Having seen that messy showing on Nuke, I can't help but feel that once we see Maluk with that orb, once we see Malbs with an AK, it feels like Team 1 are just going to roll on ahead, considering we are now on their map pick, or on their home territory. While Lyngby Vikings do have a higher win rate, we need to look at this context, or this caliber context as well. A lot of Lyngby's events have been, or wins on this map have been against like sort of kind of a Stratus Talent, Copenhagen Flames, Saw. These are teams that aren't quite at the top of tier 2, while are still good, not as good as we see the results from Team 1 against Renegades, Movistar Riders, the Amiga. Really strong teams that we've seen, and while we actually watched Amiga pretty much stomp Team 1, it showed that they still put up a performance. And for Team 1, this is their chance to have a shot of redemption of their map pick.
Well, Lyngby, they get off to a good start, but remember, they took the pistol over on Nuke as well, and it was the second round where they crumbled. Off the back of the bomb plant, Team 1 are actually going to go for a pretty hefty investment. We see these AKs come out, the Deagle on PRT, Maluk with the Scout, but no Kevlar on those two members. That's a sacrifice they've made to bring out those rifles. And let's see if they can actually pack some punch and do some damage here to the defense. Maluk's taken a heavy blow early on, already down to 14 points of health. And if he overswings here, he'll walk straight into Fash's crosshair. In the meantime, Nato Safix, a scout of his own on the angle, ready to contend. There's the first man, though. And with the nade going in, that's going to do a lot of damage with it.
Nato ready to catch out one of these members again. It's ready for them to swing into him. They spot out the first member. There's Malbs falling, and now the reaggression. Pasadello on such a low amount of HP, as his skulls for 2 AKs, really being caught out here. And running into a FAMAS is going to be like a beat into the slaughter. Both from Sky go for 1. Fasher finishes the job. Nato chimes in. And for Lyngby, that's a 2-0 lead. Over towards Team 1, they're going to have to drop down to that eco, give Lyngby a proper start, and give them a chance to really build a bit of a momentum on their CT side.
Nato does absolutely tons of damage that round as well. You can see his 3 assists already. He's tagging up every member with the Scout. He even found himself 2 kills from that one. And he is going to be very, very happy to upgrade to an AK and come into round number 3. Quite happy. Team 1, they've only got an eco to work with. We do see a couple of Deagles come out, but it will be a full investment in the Nexus nade. Oh, that doesn't quite land where I think he wanted it to. Not going to do any damage there. Allows Team 1 to get up close, but they walk straight into the blender. And Nato, the spray control on that is absolutely superb. To find all 3 headshots, even if they're eco frags, it's still impressive and something that is a lot harder than it looks. And Pasadello hoping to do some damage, but it's unlikely at this point.
Nato made that look effortless there. That was incredible. Pasadello, as you mentioned, with only a deagle, yes, he might be able to catch out the odd kill that he does. Nato, with his head torn clean off, is now going to have to rely on Relax to trade, but with that door unopened, means that Pasadello is going to have to rely entirely on his aim, and that's a tall order. You know, back away, he'll get that bomb, but with Lyngby, they seem more than happy to just challenge him wherever he'll dare attack, and I think this round should just be over pretty quickly, as Lyngby Vikings will lead 3-0.
Pasadello right now looking like he wants to and get the bomb planted over on this B site. And whilst that might seem like a long shot, he's only actually got Rouse to contend with, and he's already half health. So if Pesadillo crosses and actually checks this left corner, peeks into short, there's potential for him to find one more kill here, and maybe even that bomb plant. Needs to clear this hard left angle, though. Does so, but Rouse is quicker to the trigger, and Lyngby Vikings, they only take one casualty there against the Eco. Not a bad round from them at all, and they do take the 3-0 lead. We see the replay once again, and here's that triple spray there from NATO Safix. Resets after the first, and as you say, effortlessly takes those 2 frags. As we go into round number 4, we do see this AWP come out from NATO Safix. Everybody else with the rifles for utility, and well, they're only facing up against the AKs. Team 1 looking like they want to lean towards this B site early, but do they go for a fast play, or is it just for the control in short?
See the smokes go down as they make their way forward. Lyngby Vikings did a tough old ass for the time being. Spot out, relax, ring out a few shots wherever possible. Can't quite kill him. Instead, Team 1, who again are set up ready for an attack, are going to be ready for this initial fight. Ralph back up the angle, has Skulls push into him, but there's the opening. Trade by Malbs, and now Relax center sight. He's going to try and have the next say in the matter, but as Bird from Sky is there to assist him, it's kills either way, then more so in Lyngby's favour. 3-on-2, and as Pesadillo eases his way forward, Relax at a close angle is going to be ready for PRT, who will be caught out again. It's a quick shot. Pesadillo wants to Relax, leaves Fasher to back away, but NATO in heaven loses his head now. All on Fasher in a 1v2, shifting his way forward across from Wood, but as he moves ahead, he's able to get to the other side of that smoke with PRT ready for him. He swings out a few shots in that smoke. His location known. PRT finishes the job, and Team 1 with a messy round and a great recovery to bring them their first.
How on earth is Pesadillo able to recover that one? That was looking in the bin, and somehow he finds himself 3 snappy headshots, and it goes their way. Remember, Malbs was the man that found himself a 40 bomb over on Nuke, and he hasn't got off to a great start here on Overpass. Only the single frag to his name. Maluk, normally the usual suspect on that sniper doing big damage. He hasn't found himself anything just yet. He's 004 as he continues to pull out another rifle. Lyngby, bottom of the barrel buy. Another AWP here for NATO. 4 M4s, limited utility, and Bird from Sky to try and accompany for it. Has to drop down to the Desert Eagle. Rouse takes a tickle of damage through that smoke. And a nice setup here early from Team 1. They've taken the playground control. They've got the bomb jiggling towards Fountain just to make sure that no one gets aggressive. NATO on the off angle in long has that sign that provides quite a lot of cover there. It's actually not really wall bangable, so actually sponges quite a lot of those shots, but NATO comes off the angle at the wrong moment, and now he has to fight 4 members as they creep their way up.
NATO ready for these members to shift into him as Team 1 slowly leads that charge. NATO able to back away in time, though, as they make their way forward. Lyngby holds them at arm's length, keeps them back, and Team 1 find themselves in an awful position again. They get ready to catch out some of these members, but Pesadillo, while he is going to be ready to fight NATO, when he'd be able to out-aim the AWP here and on 8. So all it took was Mouse 1 there to do a lot of damage, but instead Skulls will be the man to shift into him. There's the opening. They should know that Fasher's going to be there as well, and PRT, he's read it perfectly. There's NATO to full. Now Rouse with the Deagle has to try and hold. Is he cleared? It may not matter. He rings out a few shots. Mouse to finish the job, and now Bird from Sky backside looks to ring true. Good for 1. Can't make it 2. Relax in a 1v3. Yes, players are low. Yes, he has an advantage with that bomb being dropped. Have 15 seconds left. He may be able to get through on the gracings of that time. With only 13 HP, he makes his way towards bank. Maluk, he goes to that plant, and as he punches in those numbers, Relax looks to play for timing here. Maluk swings wide, finishes the job. My God, that was close, and for Lyngby, that's going to fill them with confidence.
That was an unbelievable amount of damage dealt there from Rouse, and it almost was the catalyst to get that retake and that clutch come through for Relax. He found himself 2, very nearly converting on the 3rd, but he starts to rotate towards bank just before that C4 goes down, and that's the mistake he made. Unable to catch out the player on the cross, trying to retrieve it. The scoreline does close up, and we see the pistols come out. I was actually expecting to see an eco here from Lyngby, and instead it's the force buy. The pistols on every man, Kevlar all round. NATO keeping $1,000 in the bank so he can't afford the AWP. Not the next, but the follow-up after that. But if they're kind of putting these contingency plans in place for round number 8, then we might actually see Team 1 take the lead here.
That was an amazing flash. That came from B site to flash Fasher down from the stairs. So that was a great round by a great bit of utility from Lyngby Vikings, though. However, as the aggression comes through from short, it's going to be read by Malbs, who's just going to assist Skulls there with 3 quick kills, a beautiful spray down. And for Bird from Sky, the lone man to shift his way forward. He's spotted out. Yes, he finds a quick little kill onto Pesadello. It feels like silver linings, though, as Malbs finishes the job. On for the ace as Fasher shifts forward towards Wood. He knows the shadows there. Is he spotted by the players aggressively towards center site? Not quite yet. He may cancel out a blunt. He may get the odd kill here or there, but I think this is going to be an equalizer for Team 1 as we see Maluk try and finish the job. It's PRT to ring true and Team 1 to tie things up.
Well, I criticised the fact that Malbs hadn't gone off to the start that we saw on Nuke, but there we go. 7 kills to his name now off the back of a 4K in this one. Beautiful off angle, the spray control there to fire through for both, and then not allowing Bird from Sky to find more than one frag there is huge as well. In that 3 versus 2 scenario, if he falls, then it turns the tides. It gives Bird from Sky an opportunity to even out those numbers, pick up an AK, have the short control, and really contest that round. But trading perfectly means that they do maintain that one. We do see Team 1 now level out this scoreline as it goes 3-3 and up against the Eco. Unless they walk into a full B stack and fall to the USPs, we should see them take the lead. The USPs all pushing into short right now. They've got 2 AKs to contend with, and there we go. A perfect flashbang. The AK should be able to fire through for all of them here, and there we go. Malbs snap batting again. Another 4K on for the ace. This time he still can't find it. It's PRT to snatch it away. 2 rounds in a row we've seen Malbs find 4, and then PRT still the 5th. And look at that, even against even against just the full eco, a fantastic spray down there.
Even now, we look at his KD, 11-6, built off what's been about 3 rounds there. Incredible stuff by Malbs there. And more importantly, this young Guatemalan player, he is leading the charge for the server. This is his ability to just pull ahead, and against this buy round of Lyngby Vikings now, if he can make it as convincing as the last couple, then Lyngby are going to be in a lot of trouble. Maluk there, ready for rounds. The flash is a bit late. Relax can trade. He's tagged down for his woes, though. And as a molly of his own goes out just to try and bait players out of position, he spams all his utility before he attempts to get away. Elsewhere, Native Sapphics to find Pesadello, allowing Lyngby Vikings to cement an advantage and control towards A, forcing Team 1 to attack towards B.
With Relax spamming through that smoke, can't find anything for now. Man advantage here for Lyngby as they look to start this scoreline. The AWP from Maluk should have been able to connect there, unfortunately missing it. Means that Team 1 weren't given that opening they were hoping for. They start to lean back towards this A site. Remember, Lyngby have got a 2-2 setup going on here. And as Team 1 deploy all of their utility onto this B site, it seems like a fake. They're actually going to start going back towards that pointy letter where there's only 1 defender to hold.
NATO ready to catch out some of their members now. Again, scoped on in, ready for them to come his way, and Maluk's there to trade. 3-on-3 now, and Team 1, they may have outmaneuvered Lyngby Vikings here as PRT gets towards close van in an after-blood position, and Lyngby, as they rotate as quick as humanly possible, it may not be quick enough as we see nades go out, we see flashes go down, Relax low on HP, PRT good for the first, and now for Lyngby, this is definitely a tough spot to be in. At what point do you back away and save? And I tell you what, it may be the second Bird from Sky falls here. He shifts forward. There's 1 Skulls to trade onto both. And Team 1 to cement their lead further with a 5th.
That's played very well from Team 1. You can tell that that call's on the fly. As soon as they take that early man disadvantage, they say, okay, we don't have any presence on this B site. We think that there's multiple defenders. Let's deploy all of our utility. Let's try and draw or rotate away from A. We'll rotate through connector. We'll push right in, and we'll catch them in rotation. And that's exactly what they do. Really, really nice stuff. But Team 1 onto 5 here and forces Lyngby back down to the pistols unless they can pull off something crazy with the Desert Eagles. And we will see Team 1 take 6 here. And this is a very, very good early start from them, especially considering they lost the pistol.
As he leads his way forward, we see his players attempt to hold for the time being. It's nothing too substantial, though, as they are held at, well, the arm's length. Then, with a man advantage now on Lyngby, they back away. They don't want to give it up. They fall back to these sites, and they let Team 1 be the ones to have to reevaluate and reaggress towards them. And when they can walk into these crossfires, this is where the Lyngby Vikings can thrive. Team 1 congregated around or separated around the map. They allow Lyngby Vikings to congregate towards these sites, which gives them a chance to move forward.
We still see the man advantage here from Lyngby, but no one's had the balls to actually push into short and try and grab that AK. Still being guarded by Malbs, who's tucked in that corner. And with Fasher on the angle towards Connector, sees the legs poking out, but can't connect the shot on the swing. Maluk's there to find him. NATO swings to trade it, and he can't come out on top in the engagement. PRT nails him, and now Rao is looking to aggress on short, wants to bring these numbers back in his team's favor, and he can't do so either. A 4 versus 2, Relax incredibly low on health from the very start, and Bird from Sky nowhere to be seen. It's going to be a B execution, and Bird from Sky just can't connect any of these shots. Gets spammed away by PRT, who finds himself his second of the round, and as the C4 goes down, Relax surely can't do anything here. Might even just hold on to this Deagle and Kevlar, see if he can maybe sneak into short later in the round and snatch away one of those fallen weapons.
What's interesting as well is, even though it's against an eco, the fact that Team 1 were able to recover that convincingly and that quickly really does kind of testament to their ability to work this T side of Overpass. Now, Team 1, we look at their historic statistics, and something to highlight is that their T side is their worst side by quite a distance. Yeah, their CT side is a 62% win rate, their T side is 35. The fact Team 1 are now 60 up on their T side means that Lyngby Vikings are going to be in a hell of a lot of trouble if they let this Brazilian team spiral out of control.
Well, Relax, hoping for an exit, and no. PRT on the angle, triples up, and denies that one all day long. Team 1, 6 rounds in a row now. They got off to an early 0-3 start, and they've managed to bounce it right back. PRT currently 4-0 in duels against Fasher as well, so that's a stat to be in awe of. Malbs dominating rounds as well, and overall, Team 1 really have the reins on their opponents. Team 1 once again leaning towards this B site. They've had a lot of success on it and finding these opening picks. I mean, you're really correct to point out as well, last round, the way that they're able to recover off the back of taking that early man deficit without taking any further casualties is absolutely incredible. Lyngby go for a very bizarre stack this round, a 5-man stack towards the B site. Is this going to work out for them, or is it going to go horribly wrong?
Horribly wrong appears to be the theme here, as PRT and Maluk fire 2 quick kills. However, the Team 1 expect the remaining members to be there. Flashes go out to try and keep them at bay, and as the counter utility is expended by NATO, it's Maluk to find Relax, and this is a full buy, Josh. This is a full buy from Lyngby Vikings, and Team 1 have dismantled it like badly assembled Lego.
Well, you're absolutely right. It's very bizarre indeed to go for a B stack on a 4 buy. I like the initiative to say, okay, we keep losing B, let's actually try and stack it. But if you go for that stack and you have 2 players in kind of default positions, Team 1 find those picks, they might be baited into this false sense of security, thinking, okay, we found the picks onto the B site, let's push in. And then that's when those stacked players can pounce that are maybe hiding behind the barrels, maybe one in water. But instead, they get super aggressive towards Monster, where Team 1 on their defaults are always just going to be holding an aggressive Monster. And as soon as those kills are found, Team 1 say, okay, that's bizarre. They've probably stacked up towards B. They re-aggress towards the A side of things, and even with so much cash in the bank, they can justify going for the hunt. They don't allow Lyngby to save anything, and with that, they're going to leave them with $3,500 in the bank. So not even enough to go for a proper buy here on the defense. And Team 1 might be able to get themselves onto 8 early, which, considering they have a 35% win rate on their T side, that is a very, very good number to be on at this stage.
You're absolutely right. And yeah, we see them take a timeout. We look over towards that boot camp for Team 1. Look how high their spirits are. You know, they're joking, they're enjoying themselves, they're treating this like it's just a fun team game together rather than a professional game in which they have some formidable opponents. And I love that initiative. We look over to Lyngby Vikings now, who go for another eco, but the reality is, if they continue to steam from Team 1, they're going to be significantly far down when it goes to what will be the round after, and when it goes to the end of the Tafa, which Team 1 are going to look to build a really strong lead.
I don't want to call it just yet because it's still early days here on Overpass, but it's going to be so crushing if Lyngby lose this series and they end up going 0-2 in the Swiss bracket. It's going to be rough for them. Remember, it's an incredibly close opening series against Endpoint that went to multiple OTs, and then a similar situation here in the second against Team 1. This is very important for Lyngby that they actually claw this one back and bring it to a third. And if they can't do so, they put themselves in a position where they might just be eliminated from the Pinnacle Cup. Ooh.
That was relaxed, ready for one there, but Map's instantly there to trade, puts it down to a 4-on-3, and over towards these last members as they try to just continue doing damage wherever possible. It's going to be all on Team 1 to just ebb their way forward, see who they can catch out. But for Lyngby Vikings, this will be a fairly standard round, unless actually they can equal onto Malbs here, who, yes, is taken down, but with the bomb heading towards B, while they have made this round close, I don't know if they have any equity in it just yet.
With the boost going over the top, Fasher could find one more, but instead it's predicted. PRT, he's been very strong this game indeed, spamming away another right through that smoke. Weird that he checks for the boost there, considering there's only one player remaining. But nonetheless, it's Rouse. He is going to be coming in from B short. He has got a Deagle and armor to work with, and he will be able to find himself an AK. So an opportunity for him to do further damage. He could even fall away and save here, but I think it is going to be the form where he wants to try and find 1 or 2 kills, chip away at this Team 1 economy that is thriving at this stage, as they will have a full investment in the next regardless, and PRT is going to deny it. 3 kills to his name in that one, 13 total, as he carries it across into the next round. Every single member sitting on or above this $10,000 mark here for the Brazilians, and they are already on to 8. This is looking quite scary indeed. Nuke, they looked great, and it was their opponent's map pick. It was a very contentious one, but they were able to take it over the top in double OT. Here on their own pick of Overpass that we weren't massively confident in, they are really showing us why they've picked into it, because their T side is absolutely superb.
Superb is a great word to describe Team 1 right now. And Lyngby Vikings, their 3 rounds, they've been off the back of a pistol round. These haven't been, wins against buys. And what that shows to me, at least, is that Lyngby Vikings are just being outclassed by Team 1. We look at this boost as well from PRT. He really is just looking to get an opening, and he's hungry for one. Lyngby, realizing the pressure and the stress of the position they're in, they just back away. They hold distances. NATO on the furthest angle he can be on long, but it looks like he'll be flashed out of position any second now, as Team 1 will look to push into it.
Oh, NATO misses that shot by a millimeter. The timing not quite there. At that kind of distance, though, the flashbang doesn't actually blind you for too long. So you can fall away, fall back to the site, stay alive, but give up the control with it. Team 1 off of the back of it, they're not even going to regress further onto A. They're still stacked up outside this B site. They look to go for the execution that's been working so well for them throughout this one. And Relax, is he actually going to go for the off angle there, or is he just playing on the slide? There we go. Does work his way up. This is an angle that's often overlooked, and as this smoke starts to dissipate, Team 1, it could cost them. But with only 2 defenders on this B site, a 3-man stack elsewhere, as soon as this fake comes through, Relax might even fall off of this one, and this is where things get complicated.
It all comes down to timing, and while Relax finds one, Bird from Sky catches out the flanker, meaning it's all on Rouse to hold firm, and as Team 1 make their way forward with 20 seconds left, Rouse, who's desperately calling for a rotation. Do they catch him out? Yes, Rouse good for 1. Not quite good for a second, though, as NATO re-aggresses, leaving it all on Pesadello, alone in a 1v3, finished off by Fasher. As Lyngby, they come out of the gates now with their first round off the back of a bye round and try to reset Team 1. They're a good distance away from doing so, but it's a step in the right direction.
It's a very smart play there from Team 1. I thought it would work out for them. All the stars started to align, but they just didn't find enough kills on the late execute into B. They needed to trade 2 for 1 in their favor, and instead they trade 2 for 2, and they take too much time eliminating Rouse, which allows those fast rotates to come in from the A site. Remember, Overpass, nothing like Inferno, where those CT rotates are an absolute marathon. Instead, it's a hop, skip, and a jump through bank, and you're bouncing between the two. 8-4 right now. Team 1, they've already met that minimum benchmark and actually exceeded it. They've had a brilliant T side so far, and they've still got a couple more rounds to extend it further. But if Lyngby Vikings can bring it back to an 8-7, they'll be in a great position. And Rouse has really stepped up in these last couple of rounds.
It leaves Lyngby Vikings in a really strong spot now to make their way on forward and to actually look to come back here. Team 1, while they are, well, I may have spoken a bit too soon. Skulls, a beautiful shot onto Rouse, opens up the site, and while there is a flank from Fasher on short, yes, he catches out PRT. Are they ready for a flank that quick from Skulls? Maluk looking to re-clear short now as Fasher pushes into him. Timing not quite favouring Maluk, leaving it all onto Skulls in a 1v4. And as he clears CT as hard as he can, he's got players coming up from behind him, which is going to play heavily to his detriment, especially when Relax suspects his position, but not quite to the extent that's required. 1 on 3, he expends utility, but without the bomb, he's in a tough old position.
Well, definitely doable, but with the C4 in its current position, I think it becomes very tricky. 28 seconds on this clock. With so much money in the bank, I think he actually wants to try and go for this and see what kind of damage he can do, but the timing on the reswing is perfect, and Bird from Sky and Fasher can eliminate him with ease. It's going to go 5-8. Couple more rounds here from the Lyngby Vikings, and it becomes a nicely recovered half, but still not one that they're going to be particularly happy with.
It's a nice shot, though, and I tell you what, Josh, we look over to Team 1 now, have got 8 on SE side. Do you think 8's enough, or do you think Team 1 are going to be really hungry for more? And if so, how many more do they need for this game to kind of be the most comfortable it can be for them?
I think 8's enough. I don't think that they're going to go into the next couple of rounds and go, we're already on 8, might as well just buy Julies. But like, I think they could definitely take one more here. And off the back of this fast-paced play towards the B site, that is very much looking like the case. Skulls fires through for 3 headshots, and before Fasher and NATO Sapphics can even have any say in the matter, they have to fall away and saves. This AK and AWP will go into the next. Team 1 will be on to 9. Lyngby will be playing for that 6th. As you said before, Team 1 historically don't have a lot of success here on this attack. So the fact that they've found 9 rounds is super. And I think that that could be enough, you know, as long as they don't choke on their CT side, especially if they accompany it with a pistol round win and they follow up off the back of it, then we could be seeing a very, very quick series, which, to be honest, I was expecting this series to be quick, but the other way around. The fact that Team 1 have actually pulled this off has really impressed me. And we did talk in this series, or in the pre-game actually, about the fact that what we saw from Team 1 the other day wasn't really an accurate showcase of what this team are actually capable of. They had a terrible series against Godsent. I haven't had the opportunity to actually watch these guys all too much, so my only insight on them was basically what we saw the other day, and that didn't impress me at all. But what I'm seeing right now is fantastic Counter-Strike, and I'm really excited to see how far these guys can go.
I'll tell you what as well, that comment about Julies, is that a Josh Strat?
Yeah, it's a Josh Strat, man.
Oh, what's this boost as well?
Oh, I thought that connected, but no. So close. It's a cool boost. I've seen it a couple of times, you know, but it's like, it's a boost from the A site. It's a little bit like that all-off boost, but it's allowed because it's not like a pixel gap. You can actually see the head from the other side. So yeah, really cool boost. But in the meantime, it actually looks like Team 1 might be able to get double digits.
They respond to the boost with a fast play towards B. However, there's been a rotation. NATO tries to get up close and personal, but the flash keeps him back. Maluk are pivoting around this pillar now as Relax tries to ebb his way forward. There's NATO good for 1, Relax good for a 2nd, and as Skulls trades, at least it's in a 2-on-2 with Pesadella onto Fasher, leave it all onto NATO. They know where NATO is. They know that they need to be careful with him. They know that he will punish them at a moment's notice. But as he backs away towards Heaven now, Team 1 are going to secure this bomb plant, and they're going to try and pull ahead.
Oh, he actually reaggresses, and that is perfect. NATO Sapphics has such a great read on the game at all times, and as he starts to entertain a peek back towards Heaven, instead reaggresses through, picks up the M4, and secures himself a 4K to take Lyngby Vikings to 6. I really like the initiative on that call. I'm not sure who's wearing the IGL cap here on Team 1, but as soon as that shot fires off and they manage to cheat death, they say, right, okay, there's a boost on the A site. That means there's at least 3 players there. Let's get into B as quick as we can. And it very, very nearly works out for them. We do see this half start to even out a little bit, but with a 3-round lead, Team 1 are in a fantastic spot to take this.
It's been actually a pretty good comeback, really, for Lyngby. It's meant that they were able to really keep the side at bay, and I am actually very impressed by Lyngby to at least make this round, this half, recoverable. They pulled ahead, and as they came back, it actually keeps this Team 1 side having to fight for every inch of ground, rather than finishing one half thinking, okay, we've won the game.
Well, this pistol round, quite an important one for Lyngby. In fact, quite a lot falls on it. If they lose it, Team 1 can get onto double digits and beyond early. Lyngby need to take it if they want to try and close this gap. They start to work their way around to long, but it's all a big fake. They're just hoping to cause a bit of a ruckus, draw some rotations away from B so that C4 can work its way through. And Maluk on the angle thought he might be able to fire away for something there and instead gets eliminated. All he sees before falling is two members running at him. And off the back of it, the rotates will be called. This is a perfect play from Lyngby. What a fantastic play.
Malzo with 2 quick kills on the flip side to shut down 2 members. They stick down in response, but as is relaxed, no 1 HP finished off by PRT. And just as you mentioned, a perfect opening by Lyngby, a perfect defense by Team 1. But from Sky and NATO, the last 2 members in a 2-on-4. NATO want a formidable flank towards Heaven, but the real question is, will it be expected? We see Bird from Sky draw their attention away, but Pesadelo really smart, really wise to peek into NATO there. And with his location known, it means they can try and swarm Bird from Sky with aggression towards short, while the rest of them get ready for the attack from NATO. Mouths on the close angle, Bird from Sky tries to catch him out, still can't quite do so, as NATO makes his own way forward now from CT, clearing what he can, shooting what he can, where he can. Mouths there to finish the job. Mouths with 4. A beautiful round. A 10th for Team 1.
This player is absolutely cracked right now. There's a lot to be said for the great read from Team 1 there, that it was actually an A fake. But what's even better is the 4 headshots found there from Malbs. If he whiffs a couple of bullets, allows that C4 to go down, we see a very different round play out. But no, picking them out the sky like he's clay pigeon shooting with a pistol. And he denies it very nicely indeed. NATO Safix currently 4-1 in duels against PRT. He's one of the only players here for Lyngby Vikings that's really putting up some big numbers. And when you see him in those clutch situations, you can't count them out of it. But losing that pistol puts them at a real disadvantage. And as they come into round number 17, they are going to go for the force. We see these deagles come out, but if they don't work, Team 1 could be on for 12.
Maybe again, just slowly spread out around the map, slowly making their way forward from Fountain, looking to catch out one of these Team 1 members. And Team 1, while they have fanned out, they are still in tradable positions. And Lyngby, with these deagles, are just going to look to explode out somewhere. They are on a 4 spy, so they're looking to win here rather than do damage. As they get ready for an attack towards A, they get ready to explode on forward, and it looks like we may just see a straight execution here.
I'm not sure how these deagles are going to be able to contend the MP9 from Pasadello. It is able to fire through for the first, but NATO and Rouse open things up. Now the site's theirs for the taking. They can get this C4 planted. The MP9 unable to fire through for anything through that smoke. And as Flasher deploys a secondary, Malbs in bank. I think they might actually push right through this. Instead, they're going to wait for it to dissipate, pounce off the back of it. 3-on-3. NATO Savage trades the numbers back out, and he's still firing through for more. Rouse to finish things off. It comes incredibly close, but Lyngby do what was required. They bounce it right back, and Team 1. A couple of these guys are on double eco. I think we're going to see another force come through.
While it is a great recovery, we're going to have to see if Team 1 are able to respond to Lyngby in the same way they did to them. It's going to be Scouts and Deagles versus the kind of bonus and, well, full buying Lyngby. And if this were a repeat of last half, I fully expect Lyngby to look to mount a comeback here. But you need to bear in mind, there is only 3 rounds separating these two sides. And for Team 1, they need to make sure they don't get too big for their boots and they don't try to abuse this opening by Lyngby.
Well, we see that scout shot connect for a little bit there onto Skulls. Not too much, though, as Team 1, just with these pistols, they actually have to contend with 3 premium rifles, 2 SMGs here for Lyngby. And as they do a little switcheroo, put Fasher on that MAC-10, he's going to be the entry man to try and get some information for his teammates to trade off of. As they start to lean towards this B side of things, deploy some nades over the top, the C4 on Bird from Sky's back. And as they start to work their way through, the Deagles, they have got a real task on their hands here to keep this one away.
Relax, slowly leading this charge, looking to ebb his way forward. Can't quite catch out anyone from Lyngby, though, as Team 1 are kept back. And for Lyngby, as they get ready for this execution, smokes go flying, set piece goes out. And Team 1, while they look to refute this now, definitely got their work cut out for them. It's a well-timed flash just to stagnate Lyngby, but it won't stop them. And as Maluk is spotted towards barrels there, the full push comes through. Mal's ready to assist. It's actually Skulls, not Maluk, sorry. As we see Blood from Scuddy discharge. Oh. Mal's good for 1. Mal's good for 2. Mal's looking for 3. Can't quite do so, but it's Skulls to find Rals. And now it's all down to NATO and Fascia. NATO doubles up the first, Fascia onto the second. And all on NATO. Maluk finishes the last 2 members, and Team 1. That is a beautiful recovery there of 2 incredible deagle shots from Malbs.
Absolutely incredible. He's on 20 kills, KREMER. I mean, this guy, what is he doing? He's woken up on the right side of the bed today, and he is going insane. NATO Sapphics the only man on the server that's actually matching that kind of performance. PRT's having a great game as well, but Team 1, wow, how they managed to actually bounce that one back is incredible. And Lyngby, with no bomb plant, don't actually have too much money to go for an investment. They are going to go for a force of their own. They don't want to eat that eco just yet. But if they can't give Team 1 a taste of their own medicine, if they can't bounce it back with these 2 AKs in Kevlar and the 3 un-Kevlar Desert Eagles, then Team 1 should actually be on to 13, which is pretty scary.
That it is, and as Lyngby make their way forward, Team 1 stacked up round the board again, fanned out round the map, see who they can catch out when they can. But Lyngby are just at the ready again, slowly making their way towards long. And I like this call to go to long because with the sake it means they can play the range game, and they know that Team 1 won't have a strong buy. But for Team 1, this boosted AK, this, these MP9s to support it, while it's an awkward angle for them to be at, they still can win at point blank. And right now, Lyngby are walking into a stack here, so they slowly congregate forward and ebb their way forward.
As we see them hit onto this A site, if this doesn't work, this could be it. Team 1, the flash, is that around the side? That's such an interesting flashbang. I've never seen that thrown before, but it actually connects. Keeps Lyngby back for a few seconds longer, allows some rotations to come in, and past Sadello. The spray is absolutely perfect. Rounds can't get any more done as PRT takes 2 more with the MP9. That is fantastic.
That it is. And over towards Lyngby Vikings now, who have to just buy that bullet, go down to an eco. Team 1, they've done it. They've broke that economy of Lyngby. And now as they look to hit 13 and subsequently fight for the 40, they really pull themselves into what could be a strong, strong position to work out of.
Well, we see these rifles, 2 MP9s here for Team 1 still. And only an eco for Lyngby. Team 1, this should be 13 for them. And you know what? Okay, Lyngby have got a loss bonus that's starting to build, so they will still have enough to go for a buy in the next, especially considering they're on this T side. They've actually overinvested a little bit with these deagles, so we're going to see players on $1,200, $1,300, and that means that there's not going to be an AWP going into this next. Certainly not coming out from NATO Sapphics. They might struggle on the util side of things as well. They start to lean over towards this A site, and unless they can get some work done with these deagles or they can get a bomb plant, and they're really not in a great position going into the 21st.
NATO looking to catch out some of these members wherever possible, but Luke spotted out, not quite taken down, but instead, as Lyngby Vikings fan out round the board, we see Team 1 who stack together, they congregate together and look to fight this side. Maluk, while he does back away for the time being, he doesn't truly fight them. He waits for Team 1 to make their way towards him, and they let Lyngby Vikings be the ones to really fight them out here.
Well, they start to creep their way closer and closer. 35 seconds on this clock. And Lyngby, they need to hit some fantastic shots. There's a crossfire in place. In fact, they're about to walk into the triangle of death. 3 defenders on this site, ready and waiting to pounce. And there we go. PRT with another triple spray down. And Pasadello and Maluk to finish off the other 2. Not a single kill found there from Lyngby. No bomb plant. And there we go. As I mentioned before, 4 of these players are on $3,700. So as they pull out the AKs, there's no utility and there's no AWP. I do not like the overinvestment in that last round. If they don't go for the deagles, every player right now has got an extra $700. We'll see some flashes, we'll see some HEs, maybe even a couple of mollies. And without it, I mean, look at what they have to work with. That is quite shameful.
Makes me think we're going to see a fast play, and what's scary about this is 3 players without head armor have to fight MP9s, and Maluk, If he was a bit faster, he may have actually taken down NATO Sathix. Instead, as he backs away, Bird from Sky spotted out by Skulls there as aggression is pushed forward by Team 1. They don't re-peek into it, though, and instead, they allow Lyngby Vikings to make their own way forward, catching out what they can, though. It's Team 1 again, flash their way to aggress towards a monster. Players spotted out, Malb's not able to kill them though, but as the money goes down, Bird from Sky, he tries to stand at aggression there, flashed away once more. The smoke keeps him at bay. And Team 1, look how desperate they are for aggression right now. Time and time again trying to swing for a peak. And as Flash is spotted towards long, it's again Team 1 just trying to find an entry.
Well, they've been unable to do so for now. Malbs has taken quite a lot of damage though. And as we see Lyngby Vikings start to regroup, head over towards this B site. This is where they're getting aggressive in Monster as this smoke starts to fade. Bird from Sky, all the timing, it's perfect. But no, Rouse finds them instead. And Lyngby now have a brilliant opportunity. The 2 MP9's gone, and it's only the lone defender of PRT on the site to hold. There's the first headshot. Can't quite find any more than that. And now a very tricky retake for his teammates to pull off.
Maluk good for one though, and as that molly slowly spreads, that leaves NATO in an awkward position with Maluk finding Fasher all on Rouse with 5 HP. Good for one. Trade, is it there by Pesadello? That it is. Yo, the second we saw a round that looked like it was in Lyngby's favor, Team 1, they recover so well. And it leaves Lyngby in an awful position now where they have to try and scrape a buy. Yes, they can probably get one through, but the Bird from Sky relax and NATO Sathix, it's either going to be Galil's coming out or no utility whatsoever.
Look at this from Rouse. After that opening, you think it's all said and done, especially after only PRT was able to find one. It's now 14 here for Team 1. The back of the bomb plant, Lyngby, will have enough to go for a buy. Remember, they've got that $3,400 loss bonus. But once again, it feels like they're in this vicious circle where they have to continue going for these force buys. They don't want to drop down to an eco, but it means that these force buys consist of AKs and a tiny bit of utility, but no AWP, no Molotovs, not enough smokes and flashes for an execute. And once again, we just see this early aggression from Team 1 pay loads of dividends, and it gives them that opening man advantage. Malbs jiggling towards Monster, confirms that Bird from Sky is lingering, and well, it's looking like they might actually just be able to finish this one off. This is looking fantastic.
That it is. Lyngby with only 3 members left now, and there's still a good 70 seconds to work with. We see Relax slowly ebb his way forward, slowly try and catch out one of these members. He hasn't spotted the player on barrels, though, as he flashes out the first. Rouse onto the second now. Skulls to trade, and Rouse and Relax. And wombo combo there. I'm amazed that he didn't spot the player towards barrels sooner, but I guess it kind of works out for him. The plant goes down by Rouse, though. It's not quite spotted out in CT. Relax. Does he catch out Pesadello? No, he doesn't! Oh, God, Josh. That's heartbreaking. We now see Team 1 on 15, and Lyngby, what a way to forgo match point.
I mean, 15-7. They've now got 8 chances in regulation to close this one out. And I think that Lyngby Vikings have just run out of steam. I actually don't think there's anything left in the tank for them. I have no idea how they're expected to come back into this. And, well, as they go for what could be the very last buy, it comes with a little more utility, but still no sniper rifle. And despite NATO Sathix's efforts here on this T side, especially these last 5 rounds, I don't think he's found himself a single kill. Relax here. That should have been a free kill all day long. And oh my goodness, has he choked.
That's just heartbreaking. And Lyngby now, they go for a B rush. It's farmed by Skulls there. 3 quick kills, one after another. Knife out, tries to finish the job. Malbs actually does just that. Rouse now alone in a 1v5, spamming the smoke as best he can. Finished off by PRT. And with that, Team 1, they take the series 2-0 and 16-7 on map 2.
Well, when we saw Nuke go the distance, we saw it go double OT. I was thinking, do you know what, Team 1, they're impressing me here, but what are they going to be able to do on Overpass? We talked about in the pre-game that, do you know what, their Overpass, it's not too great. Their win rate there just isn't fantastic, but they've come into it. They've clearly been doing their homework. They've absolutely dominated Lyngby Vikings, and you can see on the cams right now, they are very, very happy with that one indeed. A brilliant win for them, puts them 1-1 in the Swiss bracket. And Lyngby actually puts them 0-2. One of the stronger teams here in this tournament, I feel, have got off to a very, very rocky start indeed.
It really is a shame as well, because Yeah, they really were seeded pretty highly in this. And I tell you what, though, credit where credit is due. Team One, they play out of their minds. They're especially